want to continue now with our week-long series we've been doing, comparing the vice presidential candidates. Today, the hot topic, basically the only topic, and that is the economy right now. Just how do Alaskan Governor Sarah Palin and Delaware Senator Joe Biden compare on this very important and timely topic? Joining me to talk about this is our CN8 Washington Bureau Chief, Robert Trainum, who's here now to share in the discussion. Hi, Robert.
Hello, Art.
You know, this has been, particularly as of late with all of these government bailouts and everything, that the economy is issue number one. How did the vice presidential candidates shape up on this?
Well, you know, Senator Biden specifically has said that he has fought all throughout his 26 years for more regulation, specifically when it comes to Wall Street. He has said that, you know what, I'm looking out for Main Street. I have to look out for Wall Street as well, but we have to look out in Wall Street in a way that helps Main Street. Specifically, he has said that he wants more regulations as it relates to trading on the floor of Wall Street, and he also has said that he wants to have more oversight as it relates to the Security and the Exchange Commission as well. With Governor Palin, what's interesting is that she doesn't have a lot of legislative experience, obviously, because she's never served in the state or Senate legislature, but she does have some experience in terms of balancing budgets as well and so forth, albeit somewhat thin as it relates to being a mayor of Wasilla, Alaska, but of course, being governor of Alaska for 2 years as well.
And I guess the question will ultimately be, which experience trumps the other? Is it better to be in Washington and advocate from that point of view, or to be hands-on with a city, in the case of Wasilla, or in our state, in the case of Alaska?
And you know, Art, they're both relative. That's a very good question. It really depends on your perspective. If you believe that Washington is the problem, then perhaps maybe you should go with Governor Palin from her outsider reformist point of view. But if you think Washington is the epicenter of power, and then thus in the process can not only thwart the problem, but also thus in the process perhaps maybe even help the problem in a larger scale, then perhaps Senator Biden is your candidate. So it really depends on your perspective as respects to whether the state and local government is the issue, or perhaps the federal government is the issue.
Robert, we've been talking about these matters all week, and the debate is coming up between the two of them. We talked about foreign policy, for example, where obviously Senator Biden trumps Governor Palin in that regard. But do you see the tide shifting now, particularly with the timeliness of the economy, to having their discussions focus more on those types of issues than on other issues like, say, for example, foreign affairs?
Yes, this is almost like deja vu all over again, Art. The economy was the #1 issue 13, 14 months ago when the presidential race had first started. But then all of a sudden it was all about Iraq, specifically over the summer and whether or not the surge is working and so forth and so on. Now it's back to the future where it's all about the economy. And I suspect that between now and November, the economy will be the #1 issue, given the fact that millions of Americans continue to wake up every morning and go to bed every night and see that the government is bailing out one industry after the other. And hopefully, Art, I know we're very short on time, but we can talk about energy, because Governor Palin obviously has some very strong views about that as opposed to Senator Biden.
Well, and particularly energy and oil drilling, so much has been said about that, and it all ties in together. How do you see them positioning themselves on that?
Well, Governor Palin prides herself on being an expert on Alaskan drilling specifically. She believes that we need to drill more, specifically with the natural gas reserves, as well as even more oil in a place called Anwar, which is just not too far from Juneau, Alaska. Senator Biden believes that we need to invest more on renewable fuels, ethanol, switchgrass, as well as wind power and as well as solar, because he believes that is the future as it relates to getting us out of this economic as well as oil crisis that we're currently in.
And do you think that these topics really resonate with John Q. Public out there beyond Alaska? I mean, it's something that's important. We know that. But does it resonate as much with the people?
It does, because gasoline affects everybody, whether you drive or not. You obviously, if you do drive, you obviously have to fill up your gas tank once or twice a week. And even if you don't drive, you have to pay surcharges, fuel surcharges, and so forth. So this does affect everyone in some way, shape, or form.
Okay. Again, we've been comparing the candidates on the issues. And Robert, we thank you for your time on this. Robert's a bit under the weather, and we appreciate you coming out and being a trooper for us, Robert. Thanks.
Thanks, Art. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Again, all week, that's what we're doing, comparing the VPs on the hot topics. Now, tomorrow, we're going to talk about education, and that should be very interesting and timely as well. We hope that you will be
on air, online, on demand. Watch AFR when you want, where you want with CN8, the Comcast network.